Hey everyone, we're here with John. Do you know John? You should know John.
If you haven't
John is
heard of
from
me, then here I am so you can hear of me.
from John's from Hempire. They have a new album out called The Wait, which is some fantastic fucking in your face rock and roll.
You got it.
Yes. John, dude, I greatly appreciate you taking time out of your morning to come hang out and chat with me a bit.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
Rock and roll. So I don't know a lot about the band. You guys are brand new to me, which is always exciting for me because it gives
Yeah,
us a world of conversation.
a lot of bands out there.
Yeah, for sure. What was the catalyst for like Hempire coming together and y'all doing your thing?
Yeah, so I'd met Joey when we were living in Boone, North Carolina, and I was in college and trying to find a band, and Joey had just moved north from Florida and was also looking for a band, and we had kind of bumped into each other, and then he ended up selling me a pack of cigarettes at a gas station, and was like, "Hey, man, nice shirt." And I like looked down and it was like a I hate God shirt that had like Xanax bars across the back and
Yeah.
like who's this guy telling me I got a nice shirt? Like who do you think you are, man? He was wearing suspenders and had his hair all slicked back and like this guy's like some kind of rock and roll parody kind of guy and I ended up seeing him at a show and we liked all the same bands and just decided to jam one day and just started going from there.
Fuck yeah. I hate God. What a great like introduction to each other. I
Yeah,
love those dudes.
yeah. I was like, no, in Boone, it's like a really cute little college town. I'm like, nobody likes I Hate God here. What are you talking
Right.
about?
Yeah, I went to where'd I go? Oh, I went to Sonic Temple and someone was like, "Hey, what shirt are you wearing today?" I said, I've got I Hate God on." They're like, "Oh, you're probably the only fucking one." Yep. I'm the only fucking one here with a I Hate God shirt on. Like, let's do this.
Yeah,
I fucking love those dudes. I want them to have some new music out, but I know like Jimmy's got some shit going with Down, but
oh
whatever.
yeah. I'm sure they've got more going on outside of music as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Life's crazy. So what year was that? How long have you guys been together?
That was in maybe 2016. So Joey and I have known each other for a long time, and I was playing guitar back then, so we were going to be like the guitar duo and do like we're gonna do Thin Lizzy type songs and Mastodon type songs and do all that. And we just couldn't hold down a drummer and had a couple bass players go through the fold and after our last drummer kind of wasn't having it, I was like, I'm just tired of auditioning drummers. So I'll pick up some sticks and figure it out and bought a kit for $100 and started learning and that's about the time Jason came into the fold and he got us a practice space and it's been the three of us ever since.
Hell yeah. I think drummers are the hardest position for any band to really, yeah, to keep because you find a good
Yeah.
drummer. What are they? They're in like 10 other fucking bands. You're like, come on.
Yeah, I went from playing guitar in one band to playing drums in like three or four, like pretty
Yeah.
quick. So like, yeah, this is maybe a higher demand in this field.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. Like everyone's like, well, maybe, in this market there's more drummers. Like, no, there's not. Everyone plays fucking guitar or bass,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the few people that play drums or everyone's like, holy shit, you play drums? I don't care how good or how bad you are. Come and play with us. And you're
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
fuck.
And that was the thing because I hadn't I'd never played drums before, or I'd never tried really. And even though I like wasn't very good starting out, I you know need drummers. So
That's the fucking truth. So since you jumped to drums, are you like, how has that transition been for you?
oh, it was amazing. Yeah, I joke with my friends that I was born a guitar player, but in my early mid 20s, I had to come out as a drummer. But it's been so much more fun and so much more of a fit and so motivating to kind of have that going on. So I think it's a better fit, and it's nice to be kind of a multi-instrumentalist at times. And I feel like I hear some things that the other guys don't hear when we're in the studio and things like that. So it's good to have a
Yeah.
kind of balanced skill set there.
Yeah, that's really cool. You also you have the perspective of essentially everyone, like, oh, I can play drums, but like, dude, the guitar, if you did this, it would fit
Yeah,
like, so much better.
yeah, and I'll be sitting in my drum kit helping workshop guitar riffs, and I'll be like, just move that dot, move your finger over that one other fret, and then we'll kind of work it out from there. But I have
Oh
dreams
yeah.
of doing both, but it's hard to do that at the same time.
I don't know. Like, I've been many of places. One of my favorite was where were we? Were we in the Atlantic City? I don't know. We were somewhere and the one man band was out there playing guitar and walking and doing his fucking stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I
sound
didn't
guy's
know that.
worst nightmare.
Oh yeah. Dude, I had no idea that was even really a thing until like I walked up on him. That was 30 years ago or whatever. I'm like, holy shit, you're doing that? Like he's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
tip
some of the
me.
most talented people in the world you'll find on a sidewalk somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so crazy to think about that because you go to, almost any major city and walk down a popular street where they're, busking or whatever, and you're like, holy shit, like you're freaking fantastic. Why are you still on the street? And they're like, I don't know, it's just better here.
Yeah, a friend of mine that spent some time in New York City was telling me about a saxophonist on the playing on the subway that was just making the the worst possible noises you could imagine, and was going, if you give me money, I'll stop playing. So
That's
there's
dude,
multiple sides to it.
hell yeah, it is. And that's a great idea. I'm totally doing that now.
I'm like, that I could pull off with the saxophone. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking weird. So, now we're up to the weight, which, again, is just a fantastic set of 10 fucking in your face like rock and roll songs. What was the writing process like through that?
Yeah, so the name is kind of a kind of has a double meaning. So it's like I think it fits the album thematically, but it's also like the wait. Like we've been waiting for
Yeah.
years to kind of put these songs out, and um, one of the tracks wasn't born yesterday. Joey had written when we met back in like 2016 or 2017. So some of the songs are pretty old, but we had plans to go in the studio, and then I started playing drums, and I was like, all right, we kind of need to rework this whole thing. I'm not ready to play to a click, and not ready to go into a studio yet. Stumbling my ways through live shows and all that for a while until we were like, okay, I think we have something that's done and ready to publish. And all my favorite bands do full length albums, so I wanted our uh, first release to be kind of around the 50-minute mark and have a start and an end and a finish. And in the world of singles and EPs, you don't really see that too much, unless
No,
you have a
not
massive budget.
well, not I think not really. I think more even the massive budget people are really moving more towards like EPs and singles and
It's a lot easier to promote one song than it is 10. I'll tell you that.
well, it's a world like as crazy as this sound, it's a world of sales.
Yeah.
Like it's your job as a band to stay top of mind with the audience. And what does that mean? Well, it means putting more content out. And that doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean videos, but if you're pushing singles, it keeps you in the media. Like
Yeah.
I I understand it, but man, I grew up in a time when like I'm fucking pushing 50 years old, like it it was all albums. You're like you get one or two
Yeah.
singles and then the whole fucking thing, and you're like, yeah, this album is great.
Yeah. You had to buy the album to get the single.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with streaming now, it's got to be all killer, no filler, or your play count will show the truth.
Well, yes, right. But that. I think it really attaches itself to the quality of musicians today too, with the
Yeah.
access to YouTube and all of these learning platforms, the ability to learn at a faster pace and become more skilled than someone in the 80s. You could play for 2 hours a day for a month and be at the same level as someone in the 80s who played for 8 hours a day for 3 fucking years. So it's like,
Yeah, I mean, I've pretty much everything I know I've taught myself from a YouTube video or picked up from a friend here and there. And I mean, if you want to be good at anything, you just got to do it every day. That's really
that's that's the fucking
YouTube or
truth.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I Some of us don't aren't that like skilled or just don't have the time to put into it.
Yeah, the time is crucial too. That's the one thing you can't make more of.
Right. Well, there's two things. The other thing is land. Can't make more land.
Yeah.
Time and land. I mean, I guess we can't technically make more land, but if we can get onto the moon and Mars and shit, we can have more land.
I'll sign up for that.
Yeah, me too. I want to be at the first concert on the fucking moon.
I think Metallica will be the ones for that.
Dude, why not? They did Antarctica.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like how fucking crazy
They're
is
the only
that?
ones that
Like,
can afford it.
yeah, probably. That well, they did. Do you remember when they did the Antarctica show?
Yeah, so 7 continents, 1 year.
Yeah. And it was who was it? It was like Pepsi or someone that like sponsored that Antarctica show, and I think they had like 500 or 1,000 like fans come to it. Like,
Yeah, they were in some sort of like transparent igloo or something.
yeah, how
Yeah, I'm
fucking
like only Metallica.
yeah, yeah, good for them, dude. Like, good for them for being in a position to do that, especially, looking at the 80s and those bands. You're like, you guys are never gonna be huge, and then they're they're probably, if they're not the biggest like band in the fucking world, they're definitely the biggest like metal band in the world.
Oh yeah, by far.
Yeah. So on the way, what song for you like sticks out as your favorite?
Yeah, they're all pretty fun to play. I mean, there's definitely some that stay in this that are like we choose first for the set list, But I mean, Gravedigger is a good one. It's just big drum intro, gotta love that, and pretty straightforward, big chorus, and that was one of the songs where I had all my fills kind of dialed in, and I'm like it just fits together so easily and kind of wrote itself. And I grew up close to the Outer Banks, so as a little kid, I remember seeing the Gravedigger garage like every time we'd go to the beach, and when Joey said he wanted to name that song that, I'm like, yes. I'm like, there's just something in me. I just love monster trucks and that, that
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's just real powerful song and good solo. And that one it's over before it begins sometimes. Just feels good.
You're like, okay, we're gonna run that back.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, a lot of that album is like that. And I mean, I like to say I know how to do three things, and I've done them 10 times already in every song. So it's like just real concrete and straightforward.
well, I think as much as like technicality is awesome in some things, uh, more often than not, I feel like you know, myself included, but I think the majority of people, when they get a band or find a band that they like, there's that one thing that they like, or there a couple of things that they really like about that band,
The
and they
signature
don't,
dish.
yeah, they don't want you to fucking veer from it. Like, they want that good fucking rock and roll, and it's I think it's really hard for a band to get off of that, like push those
Yeah.
boundaries. like Metallica, right? Their
Yeah.
whole career has been, we're trying something new, we're trying something new. And there was, what, 20 years where people are like, not another Metallica album. What the fuck is that? Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to be completely honest, I've loved everything Metallica's put out. Even the bad stuff.
I can't say that. Um, I I can I enjoy some of the bad stuff for what it is.
Yeah,
Like I remember when what King Nothing came out, and I was like, okay, like
it's such
it's
a banger. That
like
song is that song is so good.
like it's catchy, I guess, but like
Yeah.
I miss the earlier Metallica where it would again, like full albums versus like singles. Like you put on, And Justice for All or Ride the Lightning, and start to finish, it's it's just fucking powerful, you
Yeah.
know.
And I mean if they try to do that album again, it wouldn't be the same.
No, I mean they're
So I always have some respect for bands that are willing to have some progression and do something new and you look at bands that like maybe should not be on a stage and like man you should time to write a country album.
yeah. Yeah, and I think David Lee Roth tried to do a country album and it was fucking terrible. Like, what are you thinking, dude? What the fuck is that? No.
Yeah.
Hang that shit up. I think what was I saw a video. I just saw a video like a week ago of it. And every time I see it, I laugh my ass off. But it's him doing maybe Panama in the style of country or jump or something. And I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is
I love it, man. Yeah, I live for it. I live for out of the comfort zone.
like, yeah. Yeah, let's all make fools of ourselves. It'll be fucking great. Well, if we all did, no one would give a shit.
Just rock and roll, man. You can't take it too seriously.
Well, shit, that's not rock and roll. That was like, I don't even know what that was, but it wasn't rock and roll.
Yeah. Yeah, with rock music, it's like everything's been done 100 times over. So there's no sense in trying to reinvent the wheel.
I'm gonna argue like it's not. It absolutely isn't. Like when you get it, well, and I I'm gonna classify just all like heavy music as rock and roll.
Yeah, I
There
do the
are,
same. Like Cannibal Corpse is rock and roll.
yeah, fucking love those dudes too. But so have you heard Nest?
I don't know.
So Nest is, honest to God, I couldn't even like classify it in a sub genre. Like it is different than anything you've ever fucking heard, but it's John Jarvis from Agoraphobic Nosebleed
Yeah.
and Scour and whatever other, like all the fucking projects. It's one of his projects, and it's cool because it is so different from everything else. Like I think a listener would has a hard time like getting into it because they don't know how to classify it, but just fucking enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, I always appreciate the old showing a dog a card trick.
Yeah.
Just like give them something, they don't know what to do with it.
Yep. You got to. So what does like your guys' year look like for live performance?
Yeah, so we had plenty of plans for the fall, and then we got the hurricane in September, and I ended up temporarily moving to Vermont, and I've been there since November. So we've kind of like done some of the back end work with the album and put the album out, and kind of got our ducks in a row with that, and we're just really hitting the ground running with booking right now. So we got some stuff lined up for June and then later in the summer, and just kind of trying to get everything back together, back on track where it should be.
Fuck yeah. So you guys have you announced and confirmed and announced like the June dates?
I'm waiting until we get everything filled out to kind of promote it. If you do it too early, people have short attention spans these days. So yeah, there's a couple things lined up, but I'm just kind of in email hell right now.
I totally, totally fucking get it. Well,
Yeah.
I'd love to get you guys to Kentucky, Lexington, Louisville,
Yeah.
Cincinnati. Like,
Yeah. Love Al's bar, and I have a date with at Mag Bar later this year. And
oh fuck yeah,
yeah, we always have a good time in Kentucky.
yeah. So do you know Crop?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Braun.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say Braun's booking at Al's now. So
Yeah, been in touch with him. We were actually asked to do a show with them, but we're the dates have not lined up just yet. But I've seen Crop a couple times when I was playing with Sunbearer,
oh
and
yeah,
it's just Braun's a sweet dude, and the rest of the band is awesome, and love talking shop with the drummer. And they're one of those bands that are out there doing it. And anytime I start to feel a little discouraged, I'll see a post from Braun, and he's just rock and roll all the
oh
time,
yeah.
24/7. It's inspiring.
I fucking know, dude. Like I get those texts from Braun and I'm like, all right, cool. Like that totally like same thing, uplifted my day. I'm good to go. Let's fucking make this happen.
Yeah,
It's good shit. I like seeing what Crop's doing. Obviously, they are like Braun is such a good like fucking promoter. And the
he's
band
great.
is
Yeah,
just grinding. I'm excited for their next thing that's coming out.
yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, they've always struck me as like what if Leonard Skinner did deathcore, you know?
Yeah.
It's just it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny. That you're right though. It's right in that fucking
Yeah.
uh we need more like weird mixes like that.
I love it. I love a good fusion. As long as it's not trying to do too many things, like I love a good sushi pizza,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that sounds great, dude. God. I'm gonna text my wife like, hey, we gotta go find a sushi pizza now.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, don't worry. It's some weird shit. So
Fusion.
what yeah, what bands are you listening to right now that you think other people should check out?
Man, I'll be honest, I've been kind of like out of the kind of independent scene for a minute. Being up in Vermont, there's a lot of bands that are here that don't get out a whole lot. So there's a band from Burlington called Soaking Wet. They're like a kind of doom band. They just played their second show like last weekend, and they're like was not expecting it to be what it was, but they were I don't even know if there's a way to look them up, but there's another hardcore band from Burlington called Blossom that is like pretty
Okay.
slamming. There's a bar in Montpelier called Charlie O's that has some bands like that come through, and kind of just keeping it pretty local. But
I
as far
you
as
know,
what I've
I,
been listening to, it's
I like that though.
I've been missing home a little bit while I'm up here, so I'm listening to a lot of bluegrass and roots and some uh some things like that. So Tony
Okay.
Rice and Billy Strings and Marcus King for the country fans out there.
For the country fans, for all you country folk.
Yeah.
Um, that's cool. Who was it? I just bought a new Tyler Childers record,
Yeah.
and it's not like a new one. I think it's a little old, but I'm like, for a long time, I was like, oh, fuck country. I'm not listening to country, like I'm that
Tyler's got it,
guy.
man. He's on the right side of things.
And I'm starting to like branch into it. My wife is a big like Dave Matthews fan. Like
Yeah.
I don't I fucking hate Dave, but whatever. I don't like the music. I don't know him as a person, just to clarify that.
I appreciate
Uh,
what he's doing. Yeah.
yeah, like he's having fun with what he's doing, which is awesome.
He
But
poops on
so
his tour
she's
bus.
yeah, no one else does. Um, Chicago knows what that's like. So we go to fucking Bourbon and Beyond. She's like, "Oh, Dave's playing Bourbon and Beyond." I'm like, "If you're gonna get me to like go see him ever, this would be the scenario." She's like, "All right, cool." So she bought tickets, and I go earlier, and I'm like hanging out with a couple of her friends, and this band, the Red Clay Strays, popped up, and I'm gonna tell you, dude, their fucking live show, absolutely amazing. Like so much so, they got done playing. I went on Amazon and ordered one of their fucking records.
There you go.
I was like, okay, like this, I can absolutely get into this. And then we watched the Tedeschi Trucks Band. I'm
Oh my
like,
God, amazing. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And I was a fan of Susan and her like
yeah.
solo shit, and of course Derek and everything he's done, fantastic. But so we watched them, and people are like bumping me, and I'm like, all right, whatever, I don't fucking care. Like I'm getting into it, and then Dave comes on, and we're into the second song, and I'm so sick of the fucking crowd because they're like, honestly, just rude as fuck. Like,
Crowds are hard. Yeah.
well,
I prefer to be on stage.
I think most crowds aren't that bad. Like
Yeah.
there's like an etiquette, right? When you're at a show, especially when you're at a heavier show, a rock and roll show, there's etiquette. Like, hey man, I'm not gonna, like step on your shit and kick your drink over. Like, I'm not even by the fucking stage. I'm like way in the back, so I didn't have to deal with that. That didn't happen.
Yeah, a lot of interesting smells at some of those shows too.
Yeah, yeah. So second song, I was like, hey, I'm sorry. I'm I am not having a good time, and it's not the music, it's the fucking people. I almost got into a fight with three fucking people because I like was standing over my backpack and wouldn't let them like step over my backpack. Like, grow the fuck up, dude.
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely a little disappointed by the one time I saw Metallica. Uh, a buddy of mine had pit tickets, and I was like, "This is my chance. This is probably the only time I'm gonna go, and I'll get to see him from a couple feet away. It'll be great." And like everybody was just spending the whole show just
Their
watching it
phones.
through their phones, and I'm like, and they're playing like Whiplash, they like, I'm
Yeah,
like, push somebody, move around, and I'm trying to like, got to be in the pit for Metallica. I've seen all the videos, my whole life, but yeah, I guess everybody wants to save it for later.
well, that, and that's, I think that's such a sad thing too, because I'm guilty, right? There are some times that I'm like, oh fuck, like this band is awesome. Let me get a video of it just so like I can look back and remember.
Yeah,
But I do my best to couple of photos, 20-second video, put it away,
yeah,
enjoy the fucking show. Like, because that's what we're there for. Like, let's live in the moment.
yeah, yeah. And I love being, especially going to see a band that maybe I don't think that I would like, or I already don't like, and I'm just floored by their live show. I
Yeah,
saw the Chicks. I got dragged along to see one of those, and it was one of the best performances I've ever seen.
that's awesome.
I'm like, oh yeah, this explains all the Grammys.
Yeah. And it's funny. There are really a lot of bands out there that um Howling Giant for me. Like I love them now, but like I tried to listen to them before seeing them live, and it for whatever reason it didn't click in my head. And then I saw them live and was just like, oh, I fucking get it. Wow.
Yeah, the first time that I saw Howling Giant was when I got to open for them in Nashville, and I had been listening to them for years, and was like, I love this band, and I they never come around. I've never seen them on tour. I've never like never I'll never get to see them or anything, and that like that year I ended up seeing them like 4 or 5 times and played with them a couple times and got to meet them all, and yeah, I love that band so much.
Oh, dude, they are so good. Like anytime they're within like driving distance, I'm like, all right, I've
Yeah.
got to go fucking see them because They're just fucking great. Like tremendous live band.
Yeah, I feel like um I'm just in on something. Like I'm like an early
Yeah.
adopter or something. It's because I'm like there's like 25 people here, and I'm like standing 3 feet from the stage and just getting my face melted, and like you get to hang out and catch up with them and see them at the next show. And it's like, hey guys, how you doing? How you been?
Yeah. I actually can't wait. I'm waiting for them to announce something else so I can be like, okay, when am I coming to fucking see you again? Like,
Yeah, they're in the studio. They've been posting
y-
stuff this week. So
yeah. Yeah, and they just did the 10-year anniversary last month or month before, whatever it was.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm sure they've got some good shit coming up.
Yeah, and I something about Zach's drumming just kind of clicked with me, and I being able to kind of talk shop with him a little bit after their shows. I'm like, I hope you don't mind if I steal all of these little licks here,
Yeah.
because I'll figure out a way to play them my way. But yeah, it's just it's so good. They're really good songwriters.
Well, and dude, Zach drumming and singing. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck, dude?
yeah. A
Come
lot of a
on.
lot of drummers are doing that now. Like Adam from Horse Burner is like, I don't know how he plays with such intensity and can still use a microphone, or like Bron Daler's always been one of my biggest inspirations, and
Oh
and
yeah.
he's just singing like Whitney Houston back there, playing some of the craziest drum fills ever.
I know, and like he fucking blows me away so much. Like they did a one-off show up by Chicago December 28th, I think. We went up and I'm just like I'm absolutely fucking floored every time I watch him play. I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? Like, and he's like, oh,
Yeah,
come on, dude. Like,
he's one of those guys where he sets his mind to something, and it happens. At least with music.
yeah, for sure. Well, I'm sure with a lot of other things too. It's,
Yeah,
but Mastodon has been a band that I think has really forged a path for a lot of people who are into sludge and doom because they have this weird fucking mix of like everything, and there's not another band that sounds like them out there.
yeah. I mean, talking about sushi pizza,
Yeah.
they got like a little bit of everything, little something for anybody.
Oh yeah. So, what has been like your favorite live show that you've been to that just you went, well, I mean, you already said the Chicks, but let's say aside from the Chicks, like you went going, okay, I'm gonna go to a show and it just fucking blew your mind.
Man, I mean, some of the best performances I've seen was like Iron Maiden. I mean, but I kind of knew what I was getting into there, and also
Yeah.
seeing Slayer a couple times was just like this is the real deal. All copycats beware. Like
Yeah.
this is it. You can when you can feel the pyrotechnics, the heat on your face. It's no denying that they've earned their success. Um, yeah, there was a Mastodon and Gojira tour in maybe
23.
2015. Well,
Whoa.
that was the big one, but they had a theater tour a while back, and it was maybe my first time seeing Mastodon, not on like a festival or something, and Gojira was playing also, and that was like one time where I was like, I'm in danger, like like it crushed up against the barrier, and just rock metal in your face the whole time is undeniable. But that
That was
was
a great era for both those bands.
yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah, that was I think maybe the most life changing show was seeing Megadeth when I was 14 or 15, and that was on the Rust in Peace anniversary tour, and they played that record all the way through, and
Yeah.
that was just like, I think I want to do this the rest of my life.
That that makes me feel so fucking old, dude. Like the Rust in
It makes
Peace
me
anniversary
feel
tour.
old
I'm
now.
like,
I got no
fuck.
business feeling old. Yeah,
Yeah, how old are you? 25?
30, just
Oh,
turned 30.
okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Megadeth. That was a band that shouldn't have ever done anything that went somewhere fucking big. And I
Yeah. I mean,
say
talk
that
about
because of
talk
all the
about drive and
drugs.
determination. It's like there's no denying Dave Mustaine's persistence
Right.
for success.
Yeah, I mean, all the fucking heroin stories and coke stories and all the
Yeah.
alcohol, like that whole band should have been fucking dead 3 times over.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the 80s, I guess.
fuck yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm
The
surprised to see Black Sabbath doing one more, and
yeah,
they're gonna prop that guy up on a microphone, like let him be, man.
well, he said like that, when it first got announced, I was like, oh, fucking awesome. He's gonna sit the whole time. We'll get to see like a Black Sabbath set. That'll be fucking great. And I missed out getting tickets. And I'm like, I'm waiting. I'll find them somewhere. And then it popped up. Like Ozzy's like, yeah, I'll sing like maybe here and there.
Yeah,
Oh, like you just crushed everyone's fucking dreams that bought tickets to that fucking show. Like the bill is stacked, but they're not going for anyone else except original lineup Black Sabbath.
yeah. It feels like kind of like a funeral for the band, like a last hurrah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
or like Willie Nelson, like they still got that guy touring, and it's like let him retire, man.
I don't think he wants to though.
Yeah, it's you see him on stage, and there's a tinge of sorrow.
He's, he's probably so fucking high. He's like, I don't care. Just keep me going. I'm totally good.
Yeah, maybe there is something to this sell your soul to the devil thing.
Maybe.
Ring out every last drop.
Hey, devil. No,
I'll
no.
where do I sign?
Where do I sign? Do I pick my finger? You want to blood out of my nose? What's up? Let's fucking do
Yeah.
this. That's fucking. John's gonna live forever now. Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean that's why we put music out, have a legacy.
Yeah, become immortal for sure.
Something to be bigger than ourselves.
So, over the next year, what do you hope happens for the band? What would you like to see happen?
Yeah, I mean, we've been trying to get by without any music out for a long time. So now that we have the album out, we're just hoping that people listen to it and trying to get it to as many ears as possible. And we've got some recording dates lined up for the spring, and working on a new EP with that. So we're just trying to book as much as we can and get our stuff out there. So hopefully the snowball keeps rolling on. But I call it the Fred Flintstone mobile. So if you ain't kicking, it ain't moving. So
How fucking true is that for every band out there?
yeah, you gotta commit to no off days, or it ain't gonna happen. So
Yeah. Yeah. What a terrible thought too. Like, what'd you say? I fucking worked. Don't you get a
yeah,
vacation? Vacation? What the fuck is that? Where I only work 8 hours today? Yeah, cool.
yeah. I try to have a little bit of vacation every day.
Yeah. Well, when you're rocking and rolling, isn't it? It's all vacation.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what they want you to believe anyway.
That's what they're selling you.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, do you pay attention to what a lot of the bands are starting to do now as far as like music and publishing and rights and all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we try to be like as educated as possible from like the very top to the very bottom, and you try to find a band a little bit bigger than you that's having some success, and you just try to emulate what they're doing, and you look at bands like Baroness who are DIY, and they do their recording and they do their publishing, and they kind of keep it all close to home. And I think as accessible as everything is these days, having the most control in your product as possible is kind of the best case for the artist, and we're not really itching to be like the biggest band on the planet right away. So we're not chasing any kind of deal or anything. We want to
Good.
kind of have something that we feel invested in, and something that serves us long term. If you don't own the rights to your music and you don't own your product, then it's like it's not up to you if it passes or fails or if it succeeds. So yeah, we just try
That's
to have some ownership in it.
that's the way it should be, right? Looking back to we mentioned I Hate God earlier, and that was a lesson that those guys learned too. Is I don't remember what label, and I always say it was either Century or Napalm, but it might have, I don't know what fucking label it was, but one of the labels, like, they felt slighted. The band felt slighted.
Yeah.
So they were like, cool, finish out. They finished out their contract and said, we're gonna fucking record everything and own everything, and then we'll just license it out to labels. Uh,
Yeah, or you look at the Melvins, and they're like they're a small business as a band,
yeah,
and they've had like major releases, and they've had some commercial success, and they chose to go a different direction, and they handle all their own products, and they have control over all their merch. And if it's something that they don't want to do, they don't have to do it.
yeah. I think Mastodon's the same way, kind of control over everything for them. I'm not sure about like the publishing and all of that for them. I would assume that they own all of that, but I'm not, you know, I'm not in that camp, so I don't really know. But they've got, control of all of their merch and all of that shit, which is, I think for any small band out there, or bands starting out, or even at whatever fucking level, really, like, it's something to take note. Like, the bands that have been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years, and they're like, no, we're gonna own everything. Like, I think every band should be in that mindset, because as crazy as it sounds, um, the major labels at one point, especially in rock and roll, at one point they had there was a place for them, and now I feel like they're just trying to suck out whatever they can uh,
Yeah.
out of a lot of the fucking bands. Like,
Yeah, there's definitely some bands you see out there that feel like a cash grab, or like I'm always suspicious of some overnight success, and like I feel like the major labels, they I mean their purpose is to make money, and to they kind of dangle a carrot in front of bands that are successful, and they promise them some things, but there's some sense in making choices for longevity. And you look at Mastodon, who has they have all creative rights, and they get to choose their producer, and they get to do whatever they want, and they may have not had success overnight, and they had to grind for a really really long time to get where they are, but every record they put out is more successful than the last. So
yeah.
there's something to be said about that.
Well, that's I think a testament to their work ethic too, because they
Yeah.
are, constantly, like, all the bands, right? I think all the bands that we've mentioned, um, they are, they're out there touring, putting out new music, and controlling, the merch and shit like that. So they know what's going in, what's coming out, which is the most important part of a band, because as much as we don't want to call it a business, That's exactly what it is. It's a business, so it's your job to get out there and sell. So the more music you put out, the more merch you put out, the more opportunities for people to purchase um, there are, which is, fucking great. I think, even the Melvins, you go to any Melvin show and they've got so much fucking merch and records, and you're like, I didn't even know that was still available to fucking purchase. Holy fuck. Like,
Yeah, I
you
mean that's
know,
part of what has attracted me to being a musician is like you wear so many hats. You're a drummer and a sound engineer and a fashion designer and a project manager and a booking agent and a driver and a cook and you do all so many different things just for one purpose. And there's never a dull moment. If you get bored of one thing, just do something else.
yeah, it's great for all of us who have fucking ADHD. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Keeps me occupied.
yeah, 5 minutes of this, 5 minutes of that, 10 minutes here. Like, I'm doing
Yeah.
everything today. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so do you guys have physical copies of The Wait for people to purchase?
We're doing CDs. We are kind of finishing the packaging. I mean, talking about doing everything yourself, it's like we're kind of getting into the product design segment of that. So we talked about doing vinyl, and we've had a couple offers with that, but it's just my worst fear is ending up with a couple crates of my own album in my basement for a while. So we're gonna wait until we get some more demand for vinyl before we do that. But we'll have CDs here pretty soon. By the time you see us on a stage, we'll have CDs to sell you.
Hell yeah. Well, if you guys want some help with vinyl, I might know a guy.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk.
Hell yeah. Um, God, I know, I know you said you don't want to announce it, but now I'm really fucking curious. When are you guys at the Mag Bar?
Magbar, we so I think they're switching over the Metal Mondays to Magbar.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll be there on a Monday at some point.
Okay. I'll just
Yeah.
get with Brian. Be like, hey, dude, tell me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, we'll make sure you know about it before we go on stage at least.
fuck yeah. Yeah, I'll do my Mondays are like the hardest night for me to do shows because like Monday, Tuesday are my like super fucking long days. So,
Yeah, Mondays
um,
are hard to book anywhere. So as soon as I heard uh somebody at Al's was actually like, dude, you gotta get to Metal Mondays, dude. They're awesome. I'm like, you're telling me that there's an awesome turnout on a Monday? Like,
yep.
sign me up. I'm there.
Yeah, it's like a built-in fucking crowd.
Yeah,
It's
hard to argue with
about
that.
it's about the same crowd every fucking Monday, and people get fucking rowdy. It's great.
Love it.
All right, John, I know you've got things to do. I can't thank you enough for coming and hanging out and chatting with me. I've had a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. And thanks for bumping the album.
Hell yeah, dude. Hopefully we get you a lot more fucking listens out there because it's a fantastic fucking album. I think honestly, I feel like you guys would go along really well with Against the Grain out of Detroit.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get in touch.
Fuck yeah, that would be a killer show. All right, John, have yourself a great day, dude.
Yeah, you too, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, brother. See ya.
See ya.